Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are we doing today? I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your openness to these messages. I greatly appreciate your presence here. Today we are looking at messages for Starseeds. I was guided to do this reading for you guys today. We are getting close to the end of May, and just had, but not too long ago, just a few days ago, had the new moon in Taurus. The sun moved into the sign of Gemini on the 21st. And there are some other big aspects going on this week, astrologically speaking, which can cause quite a bit of tension and even external conflict, depending upon how we navigate the energies. So something to be aware of. But I was really guided to, woke up this morning with a message I needed to do a reading for Starseeds. So if you identify as a starseed, or if you were interested in galactic energies and galactic connections, or if you happen to find yourself here in this reading, just seemingly by chance, there may be something here for you. Oh, interesting. You are not for everyone. Yeah, this is kind of what I was, this is tapping into what I was feeling this morning. Like it felt like those of us who feel drawn to the starseed, I don't want to say story because that makes it sound as if it's not legitimate and real. And so that's kind of what, that is also along the lines of what we're talking about here. Embracing your weirdness, embracing the things that speak to you, no matter how they're viewed by someone else. And also, oh, I'm getting this really strong heart chakra opening, and because I was about to say, being mindful of how you're judging yourself is even more important than how people outside of you are viewing you and your path and what you talk about and what you believe and what you feel into and what you explore and what you're curious about and the truth that you speak out into the world. Yes, because then the second sentence says, I didn't even read that far, face your true north. So being I'm hearing willing to answer the call. And they're asking me to say that again. Being willing to answer the call. Because that is very much, you know, I've talked about, and I will continue to talk about New Earth and how we create that and how we are in these important times of this creation process. And I'll delve in another video or a writing piece more about New Earth, but I wanted sorry, give me just a second, guys. Let me get my words right here. So, for each of us who recognizes our true north, recognizes the direction we're being called, and then turns to face that and steps towards it, I'm getting this image of people moving forward in a line. What a really beautiful image, because it's not, for each person who takes that step forward, with each step you take forward, you're making space for another person to do the same. So, you know, if people are really queued up tightly in a line, there's not a whole lot of room to move around, to maneuver, right? Almost I'm getting the sense of it allows people to get their bearings, even if it's just a physical movement of creating that space so that there's room simply for the refocusing and recalibrating of your direction. That's really beautiful. Okay, Starseeds, you are not for everyone. You're not meant to be for everyone, because your path is unique. Your mission is unique. That does not make it less important. It doesn't make it necessarily more important either. We each have unique, important missions here on Earth, and contracts and paths that we are meant to explore. Starseeds, your path can be very difficult, however, because it does put you in a space of being seen for your weirdness. Oftentimes that's what will draw attention to you, but that's purposeful so that then you can share the information and express your true north. Whether that inspires someone to move in a similar direction, whether it just inspires them to find their own true north, or whether it shines a light somewhere into the shadow that they have not been, that it wasn't time for them to see previously. So it may repel people, but that is part of it as well. Oh, really beautiful message here. First thing in the morning, Starseeds. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so now we're going to go to, so that was the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. These are the decks that I was guided to this morning. We now have the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. I'll pull one or two from here as well. Then we'll move on to the Elemental Oracle. We'll bring in the Light Seers Tarot, more than likely, and then we'll close with the Life Soul Vision Oracle by Romy Wyser. At least that's the temporary plan. We'll see if Spirit ends up guiding me differently. Spirit, my cosmic guides are very much present here today to help with this. So, oop, that was quick, guys. All right. Dance with life. That's beautiful. Okay, so if you're feeling stuck and feeling as if there's, you're not sure which direction to move into, do something to change your energy. And sometimes that is, and just as in a group chat, a friend mentioned that recently, and I recognized that it was something that I had been doing as well. But when you're feeling that a bit of either stuckness or frustration or even anger, that energy needs to move, and so it requires, in order for you to process it and release it, it does require some physical movement. It allows it to release that emotion from your cells. And really and I was thinking later on, any fiery type energy has that component to it, where it does require some physical action of some sort in order to, one, to take advantage of that energy, to utilize it for our highest good, and two, to process it. And so then also to release it from our cells, from our physical body, our energetic body, so that then we can move forward to the next state of being. So if you are feeling a sense of, I'm going to leave this one in the middle, a sense of stuckness, dance with life. And again, and that call speaks back to allowing yourself freedom to be who you are, freely moving your body in ways that feels supportive to you. It feels joyful. And also allowing yourself to move with life in ways that feel supportive to you, that feel joyful, even in the moments which are feeling lacking of joy in that particular moment. Recognizing that there's an ebb and flow in life, as there is with everything. And so honoring and I'm hearing embracing those experiences as much as we do the experiences which are noticeably full of bliss and joy and mirror. And so this is oh, I love you guys. Okay, so, and we have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Yes, and that speaks back to what we were just talking about too. Because when we're triggered by something and something is uncomfortable, what the whole point of that, and just as we talked about shining your light, this is what I'm getting back to, where the light shines, puts a spotlight on the shadow and allows us to see things that maybe we kept in the shadow for a reason. And so that often happens in our physical realities too, with all of us. If we're triggered by something, it's because there's something that we need to look at. It's asking to be seen, that which was triggered. It's asking to be acknowledged and to be accepted to the best degree we can. And that allows us to, well, that provides the space and the love needed to allow the healing for that trigger. That doesn't necessarily mean that the trigger's ever going to go away. It just becomes a reminder then of what is there in the shadow and what needs our love and our acceptance, because it is a part of us. And so by allowing that process to occur, then that actually minimizes our response to the trigger. It may not minimize the trigger. We still feel that, but our response to it will shift. And it'll be one of recognition and farther along the spectrum of acceptance rather than reaction or reactivity. Because starseeds, especially on this path where you are sharing you're facing your true north, you're sharing your truth, you're expressing yourself without judgment and without expectation from others, you are going to trigger people and you will be triggered. And so how can we turn that into a beautiful dance of ebb and flow with all the emotions and experiences of life, rather than one of reactivity and conflict and I'm hearing fear, and one of moving to a place of defiance rather than just standing solidly in your confidence. I was seeing two figures facing themselves, and there was this sense of just defiance of, and certainly, oh my gosh, I can feel that strongly for myself, but it just resonates so deeply, that sense of, if you have been in a place where you didn't freely speak your truth for whatever reason, then when you push yourself over that line to speak up, then it becomes I will speak out no matter what the other does or says, right? There, that's that defiant energy. But how can we transmute that and alchemize that into, rather than it being in, which the defiance has a sense of of oppositional type energy to the other, whatever the other may be, whether it be a person, a situation, even a belief system, or a structure, an organization. How can we transmute that just into self-assuredness and confidence in what we speak of, and trust in the path, and trust in ourselves, trust in the wisdom that we were about to express, trust in the truth that we're about to express? And that all resides within you and is not reliant upon an external energy. And that's the point that we're getting to here. You're not for everyone, but you are for yourself. And that's the energetic space that allows you to dance freely with life, to recognize what you see in the mirror, what is triggering you, and not be reactive to it. Because you're operating from that space of divine love within yourself and for yourself. You're offering it unconditional love, I should say, to yourself. And you're coming from a place inside you that has the deepest knowing and is I'm missing a word here. Give me just a second. And is linked, that's not the word, but that's the closest I can come right now, is linked to this phenomenal connections with your cosmic team, with the divine, with spirit, with your guides, the angels. Okay, wow, that was really beautiful. All right, let's do the elemental oracle here, Starseeds, and see what we have. It's not an easy path, but it's one literally that you are here for. You, of course, always have free will in this human form. But if this resonates with you, then it is one that your soul has contracted to be here for. Okay, so let's see what the elemental oracle has to add here. The equator. To make equal, what were we just talking about? The balance of the light and the shadow. This is card number 5. And the importance of recognizing that both are within us and have equal value, and it's so critically important to be able to integrate our shadow into the light of us as well. And card number 10, Fury and Bushfires. Interesting. Yeah, and as you're doing this shadow work, you may find that you have so much buried anger and fury. Ooh, and I'm getting this sense of fury over atrocities that have occurred over lifetimes. That feels really heavy. And there's a lot of sadness there and grief. Give me just a second, guys. Ooh, I need a sip of coffee. Hang on. there are souls that in this current lifetime are here to, or part of their contract is to clear the trauma and the wounding and the atrocities, to clear the energetic footprint of that from prior lifetimes. And I feel this is what this is speaking to, Starseeds. For those of you I'm reading for, this is part of your contract. And so if you're feeling at this time, we talked about recently in the new moon reading about, and in the full moon in Scorpio reading, about this big release and this clearing of space. And we even talked about it in relation to the queuing up of people and souls on this path. Making space, and part of the making space is clearing out this the emotions around the trauma that is likely, if you're feeling things and don't understand why you're feeling so much emotion, and especially if it's anger and fury and a sense of betrayal I'm getting, you're clearing things from prior lifetimes, from ancestral wounds. And this is part of the rebalancing I'm hearing of the making equal. It's that integration of the shadow and the light, but there is there is a need to allow yourself to experience those emotions, to not suppress them, and also to not analyze them or overly analyze them, because for those I'm speaking to, the purpose at this time is not to, in this reading, you're being given recognition of the reason for them, but it's not necessary to dive deeply in them to understand the details. And my hand is itching a lot. That's interesting. It's not necessary to understand the details, but it is necessary to allow yourself the space to process these emotions, process in with the intention of releasing, not integrating, okay? The integration comes from the releasing, is what I'm hearing here. And I'm seeing the dark and the light figures, and then it's looking to me like a giant ball of water, and I'm seeing that as a releasing of all these tears. Yeah, look, it might be Neptune, because it has a ring around it. But I'm seeing it intuitively as this giant ball of water, which is the releasing of this emotion from your energetic body and your physical body, because it's within your souls. It has been transmitted through generations, and now it's time for it to be released so that the full integration can take place. That, however, does not minimize what has happened in the past, but it's not for you to re-experience that, and that's where the guidance is coming in, to not overanalyze it. To re-experience it is going to embed it further down into your cells, and you're being guided here to allow for the release of it. Okay. Let's go to, oh my gosh, how has it been 25 minutes already? Holy cow. Okay, let's see if there's anything to add to this. From the Light Seers Tarot, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Hierophant here on the split. Interesting. you may find you have some new ideas around how to structure something, or how something has been structured in your belief system, and there may give you a new awareness around this and an idea as to how to take action in a different direction, I'm hearing. Okay, so let's see what else we have. That was kind of a side note that popped on through. What else do we have for Starseeds at this time, please, Spirit? Cosmic Family, thank you. And this is the Five of Swords. This is not being, this is, okay, hang on just a second. A new idea. Yeah, I think this is speaking to exactly what we were just talking about how if we try to look too far with the mind space, which is the sword energy, into these emotions that are being released at this time, or these feelings we may be having, that it's going to stop us from being able to see actually this new beginning that's being opened up here with this making of space that occurs with this release. Okay, so let's look to the mission for you, Starseeds. From this point, after this point of release and integration, what does Starseeds need to know, please? Cosmic Family, what does Starseeds need to know? I'm going to get one more. Give me just a second. We have the Three of Wands. Again, that fire energy. There's a lot of fire energy here. I know you can't really see it in the cards yet, but I'm feeling it for sure. Interesting. This is the first time I put a candle on my desk that you guys could see anyway. It felt important to have a little bit of fire here with us today. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Making decisions, juggling something, and working towards something, but being able to see that the it's coming upon the horizon. Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so it's a choice. This goes back to you're not for everyone, Starseeds. And so there will be situations in which you feel, or you may be triggered into an emotion or a state of being, it's not a state of being, but an emotional state in which you feel left out. Okay? And this is the triggered response. And we have the Five of Pentacles, and this is that energy of feeling left out of something, feeling locked out of something, feeling isolated. But as you can see, the key is right here. And so this is the choice we have to make. Are we going to see ourselves as left out? Or are we going to see ourselves stepping out into this new horizon? In all of our glory. We have the skills and the tools necessary to ride the waves. So how are we going to view this? It is all about perspective. And recognizing that you are not for everyone. And that when you allow yourself to move out of spaces where you do not feel seen, that also creates the space for people who do see you to move towards you. And the other part of this is, as far as manifesting goes, if you are trying to force yourself to fit in a space where you don't feel that you fit, then that's the message of what I can't talk all of a sudden. Then you're expressing to the universe that that is a place where you do want to remain. So allow yourself to make the choice to move into this place of openness and clarity and being true to yourself. And look at how she's painted and tattooed, and I just get this sense of freedom with her. She's got her surfboard, she's ready to go. And look, she's looking out into this beautiful, beautiful horizon, and it's all open to her now. Because she's made the choice, sorry about my dog, she's made the choice to step away from these environments where she does not feel seen or accepted. It's really, really important. Your tribe is out there. Your tribe is out there. But you do have to create space to allow them to come in. Again, there was a reading not too long ago, and I think it was just last week, maybe the week before. The weeks are flying by. But it was all about, maybe not all about, but there was a good portion of it that it was about what you're filling your life with. And if your every moment is filled up, then there is no space, literally and energetically, to allow for the new to come in, to allow for your manifestations to arrive. So this is also reminding you to be very intentional about where you're putting your energy and what you're focusing it on. And are we focusing it in places where we do not feel seen? Sometimes that happens when we're not willing to see ourselves fully. And so there is a reminder and invitation to look in the mirror and to recognize you're not for everyone, but you are for you. Okay, let's get one from the Life Soul Vision Oracle, and we'll wrap this up since we're at 34 minutes already. I know you guys will hang with me. I appreciate it very much. Soothe your soul. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What is soothing to your soul? What environments are soothing to you? That's where you will know those are the spaces that are meant for you. Do they feel uplifting? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel seen? Do you feel comforted? Do you feel supported? Those are the spaces that are meant for you. And until you find those spaces, create them for yourself. If you're not finding them just yet, then that means that it's time for you to do what you need to do to create them for yourself. And even if you're doing it by yourself, it's possible to do that. And it doesn't have to be anything that is, you can do it with small ways to begin. listening to the music that lifts you up rather than has a lower energy and feels you're just getting this low vibration that does not lift. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry about that. I ran out of space on my card. Okay, so doing those things even for just yourself, especially just for yourself, but even the small things that uplift your soul, that make you want to dance with life, that help you to feel the joy of life. Whatever those things are, working in your garden, spending time with a close friend or a family member or a pet, sitting in the coffee shop having a lovely coffee, and just really feeling into the comfort and the joy and the bliss and the satisfaction I'm hearing, the pleasure of each sip of coffee. Even those little things, then you're sending out that vibration into the universe, and it helps you, first of all, to recognize what does truly bring you that sense of joy and comfort and support and satisfaction. And then you'll know it, you'll be able to recognize it when you feel it around certain people and in different situations. And that's how you understand who your tribe is, and you'll know when you're seen. Because whether they experience that cup of coffee exactly the same way or not, they will support you in it, and they'll recognize you in it, and they'll encourage you to have that cup of coffee. So, okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you stayed with me to the end. If you are here, thank you so much for watching the entire video and listening. I really appreciate your time, your attention, your openness to these messages. Starseeds, you are not for everyone. Your uniqueness is incredibly beautiful. Your mission is so important. I'm wishing you all the best. Again, thank you for being here. Please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. And otherwise, I will be back soon.